Hey everybody, this is Ray Fluke, television beat writer for Bleeding Cool, and we were lucky enough to be able to attend the second annual Tribeca TV Festival. Just happened about a week or two ago, and one of the great events that I personally was able to attend was something they call Fall Pilot Season, where this year they gave us a chance to check out 5 indie comedy pilots and give our perspective. Now, comedy, I would say, in varying levels. A number of them were more dramedy than comedy, but all of them I thought were really quality and on point. I think each of them has that strong potential to carry on into a series. That's one of the things I loved, is that of 5 of them, there wasn't any I had to really just kind of bash right from the start. But there were varying levels, so I'm going to talk to you about them very briefly, what my thoughts were, and go from the ones from, I don't want to rank them, let's just say, we'll go from a certain type to a certain type that I'm really going to cheerlead. I kind of like that better. Okay. First one I'm going to talk about is My Friend Will from Elijah Guo, and I've got my cheat sheet over here just to make you aware. The premise being that a guy wakes up one day, William Shakespeare is in his bed, the guy happens to be involved in a production of Shakespeare, and the premise being, of course, how William Shakespeare is going to get adjusted to modern times, and of course how modern times is going to get adjusted to William Shakespeare. I liked it. I thought it was cute. It looked indie is probably the best way for me to put it. And also the premise. There wasn't a lot. My rules for a pilot, I didn't get a strength of characters yet that would make me want to continue watching on, and the premise makes me wonder, is it something that's going to get old? So it's really going to depend a lot on how they really scope out the Bible. And this is, again, I think one of these series that's really going to be dependent upon building up some strong supporting characters. Next one is Living on a Prairie. I love this. The only issue I have with it, I'll get to in a second, but this idea of, and it get created by Pamela Bob, this premise of seeing people whose lives are built around their obsession with a little house on the prairie is such an amazing, unique concept that I just fell in love with it. The only issue I have with it is I wish I had gotten to see more of it. The small snippets, and I guess backhanded compliment, but the small snippets left me wanting more. That scene where all the guys from the from the group are just running down the hill, I particularly loved. But I just can't wait to see more of it. Again, this is one of those shows where this is a premise that can serve as a great background and doesn't have to be the basis for the series. Whereas I feel like with My Friend Will, it's a little different. It's kind of built in there, but this can just be a great backdrop to really establish some really great characters, and I saw a lot of potential there. Next one, Great Expectations. My gut feeling was to start bringing up things like Bridget Jones's Diary and things like that, and I just find that to be painfully insulting. And I especially don't want to be painfully insulting to creator Pip Swallow and to executive producer Stefan Georgiou. This was what I think a pilot should be. I got to meet the character. Pip Swallow is a true find. I know she's done some amazing work up to now, but if she should be a face and name that's going to be getting a lot more work. The scene where she just breaks down and cries just was like a needle scratching across the record of just how that episode was going. It gave me a lot about her. It didn't give me a lot about the major plot lines moving forward, which I loved and hated. Hated because I would have liked to have gotten more, but loved in the sense that at least it drew me in and had me really wanting to see a lot more about this series. Next up, I Was a Teenage Pillow Queen. First off, I'm going to own it. The title right off the bat had me, again, I'm not proud to say, thinking, I don't know if I'm going to get into it. And the idea behind, a woman who was once a sexual essayist, and now she's gotten older and she's gotten more. I wasn't, and I connected with it on so many levels. The cancer aspects hit on so many personal levels. The characters, the best compliment I can give to executive producer Bridget Moloney and to executive producer Claire Coffey, and Claire Coffey also the star of the series, is there is the moments at the end of the episode, and I don't want to really give too much away to spoil it, but I was literally saying to myself, oh no, please don't, I liked you guys so much, or I liked you, or so this end of the fact that I almost didn't want to watch the show anymore because of how it made me feel is, I think, one of the best compliments that I can put out there. I do want to keep watching the series just to make it aware, but I Was a Teenage Pillow Queen. There, I think, is a ton of serious potential there. I was really impressed across the board. It lured me in with unique, interesting characters and some dangling plot lines that have me just wondering where they're going to go. But my favorite of all of them, I would have to say, is Shrimp, which is about the friendships and dealings and the work and personal lives of women who work at a house for dominatrixes. I'm at a loss for what exactly you would call that, but I just. And I think there may be people who may look at the subject matter and kind of roll their eyes or anything. Please don't, because first off, it opens your eyes and educates you on the aspect of fetishes and what people's interests are, without being preachy or without hitting you over the head or not being judgmental, which I love. And also the fact that the characters in here are characters you would connect with no matter what their professions are. So I would say, in the nicest way possible, get over those hang-ups, because this is an amazing start to a series. Talk about an instance where a show can be very friendly and lighthearted and very family. And I'll just use an example. There's a moment where a new customer goes south, and the women have to act. And that's where I especially want to make sure that Frances Fisher gets special attention in this, because the way they handle it shows exactly how close-knit of a family this is. There are one or two things that happen that I kind of saw coming. I'm okay with that, because those things can be excused by the quality of the acting and the writing and the way the series looks. It looks like a Netflix HBO series already, so I have to also give the series a lot of credit in that regards too. So across the board, I had a chance to see some amazing pilots at fall pilot season at this year's Tribeca TV Festival. Again, I want to make sure you guys are aware. My friend Will, Living on a Prairie, Great Expectations, I Was a Teenage Pillow Queen, and Shrimp. If you get a chance to check these out online, my hope is you're going to get a chance to check these out on broadcast, and honestly, you're probably going to end up checking out on either cable or on streaming services, but I hope you do, because all of these are definitely worth your eyeballs.